Ladies and gentlemen, get up. Get on up. Get on up. It's time for the biggest thing on the wonderful World Wide Web. It's time for Brandon's Brew. Now introducing your host, powerful American working man. He weighs in at 180 strong pounds and hails from the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, your host, international superstar Brandon Richardson.
Thank you. Thanks for coming out. Thank you. Hey, you make this show. You're the stars. You're the stars here. I'm the real star, but you're the real stars too. Hey, thanks a lot for coming out to Brandon's Brew. Always appreciate you. Lose these here. It's always good to see you. Go ahead and cut the sound, Teddy. Teddy's Ted Russell Ferguson, folks, is a guy we hired, putting some Americans to work here. And it's always a good thing, right? Got to pump some jobs back into the economy. And that's important to me. And I'll tell you what else is important to me. Coffee. Got some Coco's blend here for you today. And we're going to be going over something that's real near and dear to my heart. Let's get this up there. Yeah. Show that up for just a little bit there. Beautiful. Anyways, Coco's blend, and we're going to get into some Hank Williams talk. So, here's to you, whatever you're drinking tonight. Couple tasting notes for you. It's simplistic, but surprisingly elegant. It's actually kind of sweet. Not very bitter. Doesn't get a real good aftertaste to it. And it smells really good. And the coffee ain't bad either. So what I wanted to get into, I was poking around my house. That's what I call it, poking around. And I ran across a couple books. I was thinking, what's the real common theme? Let me pick up all these books I got and see some kind of common thread I could put together for a show. So what I found, I got all these books here. I read a lot, but not about world history and politics and, oral sex and stuff. But about country music. So for this episode, I was looking through, I got the Willie biography, right? Got the Waylon Jennings biography, which is a good one. You got the Johnny Cash biography. Got a couple others that are laying around the house somewhere. And they all mention one thing that was a kind of central driving force that got them started. And it's Hank Williams. And Hank Williams, the Alabama boy, and he grew up in the Depression. The whole story goes he learned how to play guitar from T-Top, the local black blues guy. And his mom he had a real crazy relationship with women. Not that I can empathize. And he had to go work medicine shows and stuff from the time he was a real little kid. So he hooks up with this other little unstable lady, Audrey, and they get married. And we'll go back into this over the course of the show several times. But I thought, man, there's nobody really that I can think of in American music, especially country music, that has that amount of influence in that short amount of time. Maybe Robert Johnson. And I know you're screaming out Jimi Hendrix and Kurt Cobain and Janis Joplin, and I'm not arguing that. What I am saying is that I don't think that there would be those people. There definitely wouldn't have been the break in rock and roll the way I see it without Hank Williams, because he came along, was moving his hips in ways that were unacceptable at the time, was drinking and drugging, and I'm not, advocating it. It's tough way of living. And he set the real path for a lot of people to follow, good and bad. And the one thing that they all mention, and obviously go on down the line of country stars, they're going to mention his influence, his intensity, his short lifespan and long reach. And it's a real sad story. I think at the end of the day, it's a very sad story. I was having a conversation with my friend. Actually, I have one or two of them. And he was telling me Bob Dylan's the greatest songwriter ever. And I know I'm going to get shit for this too, but I think Hank Williams is the most important, or at least I think he's the best in my book, because he is the most influential. I think he really did himself and all of us a disservice by passing away at 29. It's just, too young for anybody, so especially when you're that good. Anyways, I figured one of the songs I'd like to play for you tonight or the song I'm going to play for you tonight, is Hank Williams' Honky Tonk Blues. It's a classic tune, so I hope you dig it. Well, I left my home out on the rural route. I told my pa I'm going stepping out and get them honky tonk blues. Hey, the honky tonk blues. Well, hey, Lord, I've got 'em. I got the honky tonk blues. Well, I went to a dance and I wore out my shoes. Woke up this morning wishing I could lose and jump in honky tonk blues. Hey, the honky tonk blues. Well, hey, Lord, I've got 'em. I got the honky tonk blues. I'm gonna tuck my worries underneath my arm and scat right back to my pappy's farm and leave these honky tonk blues. Hey, the honky tonk blues. Well, hey, Lord, I've got 'em. I got the honky tonk blues. Thank you very much for tuning in to this episode of Brandon's Brew. Always good hanging out with you. Be sure and check us out at twitter.com/Brandon'sBrew. And I will be sure and see you next time. Take it easy.